Good morning. My name is Scott Walker, and I'm the General Manager of the State College Spikes. And it's a privilege to be here today and welcome everybody to the event at the Center County Visitor Center. We are going to formally kick off the Save Our Spikes campaign. I'd also like to say hello to everyone tuning in on Facebook Live on the Spikes Facebook page, including members of the 41 other teams across the country that are in danger of losing their Major League Baseball affiliation. As we begin the festivities, we would like to thank our partners who made the Save Our Spikes campaign possible. Our heartfelt thanks go out to the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau, including Fritz Smith, the President and CEO, and the Chamber of Business and Industry of Center County, and Vern Squire, the President and CEO. Together, the Spikes front office staff and the wonderful staffs from the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau and the CBICC are fully committed to do everything we can to save our Spikes. You'll hear from Mr. Smith and Mr. Squire today. We are also very thankful for the support of our elected officials, serving the community here in Center County, in Harrisburg, and in Washington. Today, we are pleased to be joined by Pennsylvania State Senate Majority Leader, Jake Corman. Welcome, Jake. Everybody, please say hello to Neal Weaver. Neal is the Pennsylvania Executive Deputy Secretary of Community and Economic Development. Morning, Neal. Neal is also going to share a comment of support from Governor Tom Wolf. We also welcome Ann Kaufman. She's the District Director for Congressman Fred Keller, who represents Pennsylvania's 12th Congressional District. Ms. Kaufman will share a statement of support from Congressman Keller. Congressman Keller's constituency includes a part of Center County that covers State College and the Visitor Center. We're all in here today. We're also pleased to have with us Cindy Koons. She's the field representative for Congressman Glenn G.T. Thompson, who represents Pennsylvania's 15th district. And Ms. Koons will read a statement on behalf of Congressman Thompson. Welcome, Ann, and welcome, Cindy. We appreciate you being here today. The Spikes represent all of Center County, so we're pleased to welcome the chair of the Center County Board of Commissioners, Michael Pipe. Welcome, Mr. Pipe. In addition, we'll be joined by Gary Hoover. Gary's the executive director of the Bellefonte Inter-Valley Area Chamber of Commerce. Bellefonte somewhere near and dear to my heart, as well as Joe Putnam's heart, as we're proud graduates of Bellefonte Area High School just down the road from State College. We will also hear from a very special member of the Spikes family. Josiah Vieira is a young man that joined us at the ballpark several years ago, and little did we know it at that time that Josiah would go on to be our honorary bench coach, and he would become an inspiration to the entire baseball world, both minor and Major League Baseball alike. While we did mourn his loss in December of 2018, Josiah's spirit lives on today, and we are privileged to hear from his grandfather, Dave. Thanks for being here, Dave. We appreciate it. I'd also like to thank several other guests from Penn State University, the Vice President of Intercollegiate Athletics, Sandy Barber, Scott Sidwell, the Deputy Director of Athletics External, Senior Associate Athletic Director Rick Caluza, and we also welcome a few members from the Penn State baseball program. I think I saw a former big leaguer here, Josh Newman, who's the assistant coach. Welcome, guys. It's a privilege to share the ballpark with you. We really appreciate it. It's such a beautiful facility, and we love working with you every day. Our thanks also go out to other partners at Penn State Universities, including those who serve on our administrative board. Dave Rose, the Assistant Vice President for Auxiliary and Business Services, and Kurt Kissinger, who is Associate Vice President for Finance and Business. We'd also like to thank Laurel Shadle for joining us today from Scott Conklin's office. We truly appreciate everyone being here today. I see plenty of familiar faces, longtime sponsors, suite and season ticket holders, a couple girls from the Spikes Fast Pitch softball team in uniform, looking great, and all of our wonderful fans. I'm so happy to see everybody here today. Okay, so after we hear from all of our wonderful guests, I'm going to detail the Save Our Spikes campaign, and I'll outline very clear steps how folks can contribute and help to save the Spikes in Center County. But first, I wanted to provide a little bit of background for how we got to this point. We are about to celebrate our 15th season of Spikes baseball in Happy Valley. It's a little hard to believe, but the formation of the franchise was the result of an overwhelming investment of support and resources from a wide array of people and organizations. It was Penn State University's idea to create a state-of-the-art facility which would become jointly operated and serve as the home of an affiliated minor league baseball team and the Penn State baseball program. Penn State officials then approached Chuck Greenberg, who worked with key legislators, most notably former Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell and former pro temp of the Pennsylvania State Senate Bob Jubileer, and they helped to secure the funding that it took to secure the ballpark. Through that $14 million grant from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, as well as significant investment from Spikes ownership and Penn State University, the Spikes franchise and Medler Field at Lebrano Park came to be. Put simply, the ballpark would never have been built without the assurance of an affiliated minor league baseball team occupying the same facility as the Penn State baseball program. That same idea, jointly operating a facility with an affiliated minor league team and a Division I AA collegiate baseball program, has been grown over the years and spread across the country. In addition, Medler Field at Lebrano Park was the first baseball stadium ever to receive the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, or LEED certification, by the U.S. Green Building Council. This third-party certification program is the nationally accepted benchmark for design, construction, and operation of high-performance green buildings. And we're proud to say that Medler Field at Lebrano Park is the first ever ballpark to become LEED certified. In addition, since the inception of the franchise back in 2006, we have been committed to being an integral part of the Happy Valley community. Through charitable events at the ballpark, as well as monetary and in-kind donations, the Spikes have helped give over $5 million back to the community, including over $500,000 in 2019 alone. I just love working at the ballpark every day, and it's really become a place where the community can come together, make memories, and it's sometimes, through charitable events, help fight to save people's lives. Now, however, right now that is all in danger. Since November this past fall, when our club appeared on a list of 42 minor league baseball teams that would potentially lose their baseball affiliation under a proposal from Major League Baseball, countless fans have asked us how they can help keep the Spikes here at State College. Today, we're excited to let you know exactly how you can do that. Following our guest speakers, I will outline clear steps to doing so. And it greatly energizes me, and it greatly energizes everybody within the Spikes organization to know that we can come together and we can safeguard that investment that we have all made. We remain committed to showcasing our ballpark as one of the finest and most modern in the country, featuring fan and player amenities that are at the top of the industry. And we look forward to joining elected officials, community leaders, our great fans, our neighbors, and all of the members of the Spikes family to save our Spikes. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the lineup of tremendous speakers we have today. If you don't mind me saying so, I think we have something comparable to the 27 Yankees, if I gotta be honest. And first up, I'd like to introduce Pennsylvania State Senate Majority Leader representing Pennsylvania's 34th District, Jake Corman.
I'm not sure which player I am. I hope I'm not Babe Ruth. I'm a little heavy, but thank you all for being here. When I sitting here, I'm thinking how time flies. It was in the early 2000s when then athletic director Tim Curley hit me up in a bagel shop in downtown State College to pitch this idea. It was unique at the time. I mean, there's a few who have done it as we have here, but at the time, the affiliation between Penn State University and a minor league team was new. And when we pitched it, I was like, wow, I don't know if we could put that together or not. But as time went on, as Scott laid out, we were able to put it together in a bipartisan way. Governor Rendell was a great supporter and a good friend to try to make this happen for this community. And it was 2005 when we, 15 years ago, when we were across the street and announced that at a press conference that this was going to happen. It was a very exciting day, and I really didn't envision at the time what a community-oriented success it would be. I mean, I knew it would be popular, but really how the Spikes have become part of the community and part of the family of Center County is really something I did not necessarily envision, and something that I think has just been fantastic to see and grow over the last 15 years. I've tried to keep my relationship with them. I'm a huge baseball fan, as many of you may know. Coach Little League Baseball, and coming to the ballpark is just a fun day, and try to keep up with sponsorships here and things of that nature, because I think it is so important. In any healthy, vibrant community, entertainment events for the family are very important to have. It just is. And when you're trying to get people to move into the community, to grow our community, you need these types of things for families to enjoy. And it's one thing about the Spikes, it's a family-oriented event. It's just a fun day, a fun evening when you get a chance to come. And so, it's hard to imagine now 15 years later with all the success that we've had, that now we're facing this moment. And in some ways, maybe it's positive because in some ways, like all of us, we probably take things for granted, that things will always be here because it has been here so long. Well, now we found out because of some, I would say, some ill thinking at the Major League Baseball level that this process they are going through is one that has put us in a situation where we're now fighting to save our team. And that's okay, because we're going to do it. I think the first step is to make Major League Baseball understand how wrong they are in their thinking. And thanks to the governor and the congressional delegation, they've already jumped up quickly to state very clearly to Major League Baseball that this is not smart thinking on their part. And so that's the first component, is to sort of fight back to Major League Baseball and hopefully have them rethink their plans moving forward for minor league baseball. But the second part is to make sure that everyone knows, Major League Baseball and every other team in the country knows that State College is a place that can support and will support a minor league baseball team. And Scott's going to lay that out. But the biggest part of that is showing up at the ballpark. For the next year, we need to show up. Not just the next year, but many years to come, because we can't take it for granted that we're going to be here forever, that the Spikes will be here forever. And I can't think of one of the best times in the last 15 years, and maybe because I'm from Bellefonte, I'll say that, is when we had the PIAA state championship game at Spike Stadium, and it was almost sold out if it wasn't sold out. Huge for a high school game. And how important it was for those kids to play this close to home, in a state championship game, and all the parents and families who could be here for that game, not have to travel to Harrisburg, not have to travel to Hershey, wherever. We had a state title game right here in our own community, and it was just such an exciting day for all the families and all the kids that day. And that's what we have here, and that's what we can't lose here. And so I implore everybody over the next year, again, this is sort of a two-pronged attack, and Scott will get into more details of that. Let's show everyone what this team means to us, not just at the Spikes games, but also the Penn State games, to show everyone that baseball is important to this community. This event is these events are important to this community, and we are going to stand up and fight for it and show everyone that even if they do retract some of the Major League Baseball teams, State College is not where you want to retract, because this is a community that supports this team. So thank you all for being here today. What a great crowd. Looking forward to joining the team over the next year to save our Spikes. God bless.
Jake, I can confirm it was a sellout. You bought all the tickets. Yeah, we sent him the bill. We appreciate it. Next, I'd like to welcome Pennsylvania Executive Deputy Secretary of Community and Economic Development, Neal Weaver. Neal will also share a comment from Governor Tom Wolf. Welcome, Neal.
Good morning. I, too, am part of the Bellefonte delegation graduating from the high school. I'm not going to tell you what year. So thank you for the opportunity for us to be here with you today. This event is a bit unusual for me. As the Senator knows and others in this room know, DCED is often referred to as the Good News Agency. And when we travel to events, it's to help celebrate the opening of a new business, the creation of new jobs, or a new community project. But today, I traveled to Happy Valley because we want to do everything we can to support the Spikes in the midst of the unfortunate uncertainty of the team's future. First, let me say that Governor Wolf loves the sport of baseball, and I know everyone here today shares in that sentiment. We have great respect for Major League Baseball and the commissioner, and given that the work I do in economic development every day, I do understand the realities of business. But when I heard the news that Major League Baseball was considering cutting ties with the Spikes and two other beloved minor league teams here in Pennsylvania, I was taken aback. That's because Pennsylvania's minor league baseball teams are cornerstones of our communities, and the Spikes are no exception. The Spikes provide a wholesome, low-cost source of fun and entertainment for hundreds of thousands of families every year. That these visitors are here in the area and they improve the quality of life for people in the region. As Governor Wolf said in his letter that he sent to the commissioner in December, baseball is one of America's favorite pastimes, and minor league baseball teams have brought professional baseball and joy of the game to many people across the country. The governor is absolutely right. And what's more, the Spikes are part of this area's proud sports identity and have been for nearly 15 years. Since the team arrived here in State College, it has helped raise charitable contributions of more than $5 million for local community organizations. But this team does more than just boost the community. It boosts the local economy. And it's not just the jobs that the Spikes and the stadium provide. The Spikes sell about 125,000 tickets on an average every year. Think about that for just a second. That's 125,000 people who are eating in local restaurants, shopping at local stores, filling up for gas in local stations, and staying in local hotels. That is a huge downstream economic benefit that the Spikes bring to the Happy Valley and to the entire region. That's why the Commonwealth invested in the field back when it was built. It would be a huge loss to this local economy if Major League Baseball proposal were to move forward. So I stand here with all of you and urge Major League Baseball to reconsider its proposal for the Spikes and the 40 other minor league teams across the country and Pennsylvania. I know that one of the best things we can do to push back is for all of us to come together and speak with one voice. And that's exactly what we are doing here today with the hashtag Save Our Spikes campaign. I want to thank Scott Walker and the Spikes organization for gathering everybody here today. I want to thank Senator Corman and Congressman Keller's staff for being leaders in this community and advocating for this team and for this region. And thank you to the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau, the Center County and Bellefonte area chambers, partners, students, fans, residents, and everyone else who is with us today. On behalf of Governor Wolf, I want you to know that we fully stand with you and fully support you in the efforts to save our Spikes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Neal. Now to read a comment from Congressman Fred Keller, the District Director for the 12th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. Everybody please welcome Ann Kaufman.
As was said, my name is Ann Kaufman, and I'm the District Director for Congressman Fred Keller, who represents Pennsylvania's 12th Congressional District. Unfortunately, he could not be here today, but I appreciate the opportunity for myself to attend and help to save our Spikes. I'd like to take a minute to read a statement directly from Congressman Keller. Baseball is not only America's pastime, but it's emblematic of the American dream. For decades, minor league baseball has been the conduit through which players hone their skills, test their merits, and pursue their dream of one day playing Major League Baseball. Pennsylvania's 12th Congressional District is fortunate to be home to two minor league teams, the State College Spikes and the Williamsport Crosscutters. These franchises have been great community partners, providing our region with affordable entertainment while contributing to our local economies. Because of these teams and their part in the fabric of our community, I became a founding member of the Save Minor League Baseball Task Force, where I am committed to working with my colleagues to engage Major League Baseball in a constructive and positive way. As part of that work, I am an original co-sponsor of a resolution that expresses the sense of Congress that minor league baseball should maintain the current minor league structure rather than proceed with its plan to eliminate 42 minor league clubs. We all must work in a way that ensures the continued viability of these teams and the family-friendly entertainment they provide. I look forward to fighting for the Spikes, the Crosscutters, and the perseverance of minor league baseball across America. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here today, and on behalf of Congressman Keller and the 12th Congressional Districts, we're working on the forefront to save our Spikes.
Next, Cindy Koons, Field Representative for Congressman Glenn G.T. Thompson, serving Pennsylvania's 15th District, will also share a statement from Congressman Thompson.
Thank you, Scott. It's a pleasure to be here today, personally, to support the Spikes, but it's a pleasure to be here today to share with you a statement on behalf of Congressman Glenn Thompson, representing PA 15. Congressman Thompson drafted this statement just yesterday. He's in Washington, D.C. today. Lots of things going on there, as you know, and so I share on his behalf. While I cannot be with you today due to votes in Congress, I felt it important to send a message loud and clear to the State College Spikes that the State College Spikes are part of our community and part of the fabric of the Center region. The Spikes provide a great family-friendly venue, stimulate the region's economy, and support local charities. America's pastime should be accessible to all Americans, and any plan that would eliminate 42 minor league teams would be a great loss here in Center County and across the entire country. I've been happy to work with more than 100 members of Congress from both parties to ensure that Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred understands the great impact their decisions could have throughout the nation. In fact, today I will have representatives from Major League Baseball in my office to further make the case for minor league baseball and especially the State College Spikes. I want to thank the community and Spikes General Manager Scott Walker for partnering on these advocacy efforts. Together, we're working to save our Spikes. Thank you.
Serving as the chair of the Center County Board of Commissioners, I'd like to welcome Commissioner Michael Pipe to the podium.
Good morning, everybody. I want to say we are joined here today not just by myself, but also by my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Higgins and Commissioner Dersham as well. We are honored to have the Spikes here in our Center County community, and we're really honored to be able to be a part of the investments that we make to have them be such a success here in our community. And one of the things that we get to talk about, not just the amazing leadership of Scott and his team, not only the amazing outreach of support here in our community from our fellow neighbors, but it's really the fact that we're going to be able to invest in our time and energy as a community into the Spikes in the upcoming years ahead. Center County took the action with a partnership at our state level with legislation that enabled us to invest even more here in our community through our hotel room tax. And that's going to be a major talking point that we can have to talk to Major League Baseball in our community about how we can invest more in our Spikes. It's a community family, it's a community team. We're so honored to have them here today. So let's show our support and save our Spikes. Thank you all.
Everybody please join me in welcoming the President and CEO of the Chamber of Business and Industry of Center County, Vern Squire.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone. I want to make a few comments in support of the Spikes, but as we do so, so many great comments have already been made. I want to point out that as you see on the banner of the screen behind me, the affiliations between Happy Valley Adventure Bureau, Fritz Smith, who you'll hear from in just a moment, and the CBICC are just really emblematic of the support that the community has for this effort. The Spikes is an institution. It's a cultural institution. It's a social institution. It's a recreational opportunity, all of the things that have been said today. I want to point out that these are so valuable when we come to thinking of doing business in Center County, about recruiting professionals in various fields, including but not limited to education, healthcare, other industries and professions that need workers to move here and live here. This is part of the fabric of the community. We want also not to miss the opportunity to thank Scott and the Spikes for the years behind us. We want to look forward to years ahead of us. And uniquely enough, we have the power to not be part of an effort that loses the Spikes. It's in our power as a community to keep the Spikes, actually celebrate forward, and enjoy this opportunity with them for many years to come. To that end, there are three actions that are expressly needed in this moment. Buy tickets, buy tickets, buy tickets. Thank you.
I don't think I could say that any better myself. And now the king of this beautiful castle we're all in here today, Fritz Smith, the president and CEO of the recently renamed and reinvented Happy Valley Adventure Bureau.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. And on behalf of the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau and its board and staff, we're happy to host this event today. We at the Adventure Bureau are embarking on an exciting campaign to promote our region as Happy Valley, and we'll be launching a kickoff for that campaign right here in 2 weeks. So hope that everyone can come to that. But part of the emphasis of that marketing campaign will be to talk about this region as a family-friendly, affordable, safe, fun destination. And what better way is there to have fun with family and loved ones than to go to on a beautiful summer night out to the ball field and have a $3 Coke and a couple dollar hot dog at a fraction of the cost that it would be in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. When the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Penn State and other stakeholders made the decision to invest in that ballpark, they knew the return would be great. You've heard the figures already, $5 million in charitable contributions, the PIAA championship being held here, which we want to continue, come back and continue other sporting events that we can recruit to the stadium. We also heard about hotel stays, but the umpires, the other teams, press covering, the fans coming from Huntington, Clinton, Clearfield, Lycoming, Union, Mifflin County. So it's not just a Center County asset, coming from all over. Vern talked about how closely we work together. We both understand that we're in the attraction, the retention, and the attraction business to attract visitors, to attract students, attract retirees, attract businesses. And so to that effect, Vern and I have decided that we're going to step forward, and as we've accepted the challenge of leading this marketing campaign, we're going to step up and commit to a suite at the field. We think it will be a great opportunity to host decision makers who are interested in potentially locating a business here, holding a conference here, holding a sporting event here. So we've signed up. Hope everyone will follow us and save our spikes. All right.
What a heck of a way to kick off the campaign. I do have the contract in the back. We'll get that inked before we leave here today. Yeah. We'll see what we can do. Next up, the Executive Director of the Bellefonte Intervalley Area Chamber of Commerce, Gary Hoover.
You've already heard from a number of speakers. Now I feel like I'm up at bat with the bases loaded. No pressure. So I'd like to dwell on an aspect of the Spikes. But first of all, I want to express the support of the Bellefonte Intervalley area and all of Center County for saving the Spikes and for this effort, and to thank them for the many things they do bring to our community. In particular, one thing that may not have been touched on so far is that the Spikes provide an inspiration for fitness and involvement in sports. They provide a conduit, as has been mentioned, into the major leagues. Center County deserves and has earned the right to have such a conduit in our community. The attendance at your average Spikes game is 3,000 people. That puts them in the top third of their league. We have put together, and the university has provided, a world-class and first-rate facility in Lubrano Park and Medler Field. And Medler Field and Lubrano Park is, in effect, a multifaceted entertainment facility. When you go to a Spikes game, there's a whole lot going on there. Now, the bad news is that we are one of about 42 communities across the country that are affected by this proposal to reduce the number of affiliates. The good news is we have plenty of help in this struggle. I really think this proposal has actually stirred up a hornet's nest. It has basically sparked a congressional committee to save, and a task force to save minor league baseball. And it's being talked about even by presidential candidates if you followed the news closely. So it is important for our local community to preserve this great American tradition and a local fixture, that we all get behind the effort to support the Spikes and encourage and give suggestions to find ways to address some of the issues that were actually raised in the Major League proposal in such a way that it doesn't harm our community or the 41 other affected communities, the hundreds of athletes and the hundreds of thousands of fans that would be affected by this move. This should not be a bean counter decision. It should be based on a broader examination of what can be done and take into account primarily the effect on the communities involved. Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, my good friend and grandfather of Spikes bench coach Josiah Vieira. Please welcome Grandpa Dave.
I'll try to be brief, but when I'm talking about my grandson Josiah, that's a little hard to do. Of course, I'm Dave Boner. I'm Josiah's grandfather. Been with him from the get-go when we started this journey in baseball. A little background on Josiah. He was born with progeria, which is early aging disease. At age 6, Josiah found his passion for baseball while playing in the backyard with some kids next door. In May 2010, he got to play his very first Little League game. The story spread about his love for baseball all around our community and outside of the community. In late in 2010, I got a call from, or during 2010, I got a call from ESPN, E60, and they did a story on Josiah. And that was one of 2 stories that they did in 2010. And the other one was in 2017. Sometime later, though, because of his progeria, he was unable to play baseball anymore because of arthritis in his knees and his arms. It's very disappointing for him. Fast forward to 2013. Josiah receives an invitation through Children's Miracle Network to attend a State College Spikes game. Of course, Josiah was not going to turn a trip down to baseball. Game day arrives and we're off to State College. Josiah's boiling over with excitement. Now it's game time. A walk-off win that night. Josiah was invited out again. Another walk-off win. The coach, Ollie Marmol, that year states, we have to get this kid a locker. And now Josiah's incredible 5-year journey with the State College Spikes began. Josiah gets his own locker and is named honorary bench coach of the State College Spikes. Josiah interacted with many players during his time with the Spikes, and he had many private conversations with players and coaches alike. Even at his young age, he always had his one-liners, which caught many by surprise. Game days, he always wanted to be at the stadium first. Believe me, he wanted to be at the stadium first, really early, before the players even arrived, or the coaches. And he usually was the last to leave after a game. Not only did the players and staff get attached to Josiah, but the fans did too. They would always cheer when Josiah was announced onto the field for the game or when he threw his usual first pitch. We have many great memories of Josiah with the Spikes, too numerous to share in a short amount of time. In my heart, I believe Josiah's best moment was the last time he set foot on Medlar Field. The 2018 All-Star Game at State College. For many months prior to the All-Star Game, he would share with me his excitement that the game was going to be at home. Night of the All-Star Game, the 9th inning, manager Joe Cruzel lets Josiah go out to the mound to change pitchers. At this point in his life, it was extreme pain for him even to walk. Coach asked if he wanted to be carried, and Jose, in his normal voice, said, "No, I'm walking out myself." He was a tough kid who would not admit he was in pain. After changing pitchers, he struggled back to home plate with obvious pain showing on his face. The fans and players alike, standing to their feet, cheered him on as he tipped his hat for what would be his last season at Medlar Field. Afterwards, he said to me, "Pat, that was the best ever." I asked Josiah why. "You did the same thing at last year's All-Star Game." Josiah gave me a big hug and said, "We're at home, Pat. There's nothing like being at home." Josiah's 5 years with the Spikes is an amazing story to say the least. He was a recipient of 2 New York Penn League championship rings, one in 2014 and again in 2016. In 2014, he received the Baseball Writers Association of America Good Guy Award in St. Louis. In 2015, at the baseball winter meetings in Nashville, Tennessee, he was given the Minor League Baseball Presidential Award presented by MILB President Pat O'Connor. He had his own baseball cards, cover photos on Spike's calendars, the Josiah Vieira Perseverance Award, of which he picked a player each year. He also had the opportunity to hang out with our neighbors across the street, the Penn State Nittany Lions football team, and also hung out with the baseball team for the Penn State. Also, one of his most favorite times during games was doing play-by-play on Spike's radio broadcast with Joe Putnam, who's here today, and Steve Jones. They lovingly called him the action innings. That is a story in itself. Josiah, along with his family, have had the honor of meeting many young ball players, some of whom have gone on to play Major League Baseball. There are a few that we still stay in contact with, those still playing ball or coaching, and some now in private life. All have said that Josiah had a profound impact on their lives. I could go on, but it would take hours to share. But I want you to know that the name Josiah Vieira would have probably never been known in the world of baseball had it not been for that one phone call inviting Josiah to a ball game at the State College Spikes. Little did we know the incredible journey that was ahead. On Christmas Eve 2018, Josiah suddenly passed away. The news spread throughout the baseball world. His story continues to live on with the State College Spikes. This past season, Josiah's name and number were retired by the Spikes. You will see it hanging on the right outfield wall at Medlar Field. Also this past August at the All-Star Game in Staten Island, to an emotional standing ovation lasting minutes, Josiah Vieira was inducted into the New York Penn League Hall of Fame. There are not enough words I can say to thank the State College Spikes for the many wonderful memories created during Josiah's time with the Spikes. From that very first game until the 2019 opening day game celebrating Josiah's life, I believe Josiah's legacy will live on at the State College Spikes. Our friends at the Spikes are, and forever will be, our extended family. Josiah's first ever made t-shirt when he played Little League read "Friends Forever." The last t-shirt he made, he drew himself, one of which I'm wearing today, in which he said many times to others, to ball players, to friends, never give up. Josiah impacted many lives inside and outside of baseball with his positive attitude. Because of the Spikes, or St. Louis Cardinals affiliate, Josiah had the honor of being an honorary St. Louis Cardinal. He loved being a Cardinal, but he was and always will be a State College Spike. Many thanks to the State College Spikes for allowing us to be part of an incredible baseball franchise and family. May Josiah's story continue to inspire and encourage those who will come to play baseball with the State College Spikes. And finally, to the fans, Josiah not only loved his team, but he loved the fans who came to each game. Whether at home or away, Josiah appreciated and loved the fans. Thank you to all the fans for your continued support of the State College Spikes, and to the other 41 teams around the country. To your fans, I like to say, support your teams. Get out there and support your teams. Thank you. And I have to mention one other person. I want to mention two people before I finish. This all started in 2013 from a phone call from a friend I see standing in the back, J.D. Dombach, who was the general manager at the time. We communicated a lot, buddy, to get Josiah out here. And who started the story, and to Scott and the staff who kept Josiah's story going. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go Spikes, and never give up.
Wow. Let's hear it for Dave one more time and all of our speakers. So now that we've heard from everybody, we know what's truly at stake. It's very serious. Our community leaders and elected officials are doing all they can. We need our community to do all that they can as well. So it's time to let you know how best to do that. We've made it very simple. We've created a website, saveourspikes.com. So all you got to do is go to saveourspikes.com, and it'll outline 5 clear steps on how you can help to save our spikes. Step 1, we need everybody in this room, as well as everybody in the community, to promote the website. Or in other words, we need you to send out an SOS, Save Our Spikes. And that can be done by displaying all the various Save Our Spikes promotional materials that we have available here today free of charge. So please, stock up on everything before you leave. Trust me, we have plenty of everything. We have window signs for your home or business. We have magnets for your car, van, SUV, horse and buggy. We have SaveOurSpikes.com magnets we're going to have all over town. We have lapel pins. I never used to appreciate the lapel pin, but the older I get, I love lapel pins. Beverage coasters for your iced teas. Please be sure to share these all around town. We have wristbands, blue and red. I swear. Be sure to wear them. Pick as many as you want up before you leave. And I think my favorite, we have squishy balls. Not kidding. Throw them at your friends and neighbors. Perhaps enemies. Commissioner Higgins, look alive. Mike Murray, look alive. Putnam. Demar, I see you over there. Greg Albert, my fantasy football championship ring guy. Oh, all right, I'm out. Seriously, we have a lot. I'm not kidding. I'm also very excited to announce that we'll have a beautiful, fully wrapped CATA bus cruising around the streets of Center County very soon. Check it out. Real big, SaveOurSpikes.com. You can't miss it. Beautiful in red. I can't wait to see it. Also, be on the lookout for our digital billboard ads and stickers on the front page of the Center Daily Times. We're trying to educate the community to go to SaveOurSpikes.com. That is step 1. Step 2, contact your elected officials. Many of them are here today. It's a good chance to do that. If you go to SaveOurSpikes.com, you can click on a link, and there's a sample template letter that you can customize, personalize yourself, email it, snail mail it, or give your folks a phone call. Tell them how much you support the Spikes. Step 3, it's been said before, I think Vern said it best. Buy tickets, buy tickets, buy tickets. Actually, all we need you to do is commit to a full season suite like Fritz and Vern did earlier. We'll be fine. Suddenly, we only have a few left. But pack the ballpark. I'm serious. Pack the ballpark this summer for the 15th season of Spikes Baseball. We need to show Major League Baseball and the rest of the baseball world that this community supports an affiliated minor league baseball team. There's Spike staff members in red polos today that are happy to chat with you about more options, discounted group tickets. Oh, by the way, we are a Pepsi ballpark. I want to make that very clear. We do not sell $3 Cokes. But we have a great Pepsi picnic pavilion, and we have great options in the private suites in the Geisinger Champions Club. Step 4, get your 15th season commemorative merchandise. Wear it loudly and wear it proudly all over town. We have custom t-shirts and hats now available on SaveOurSpikes.com. Step 5, I see many sponsors in this room today. Thank you for your sponsorship. You can become an official sponsor as well. Talk to me after this press conference. I'd be happy to fill you in. We do many customized and personalized packages that are tailored to meet the objectives you may have. And starting today, all the promotional materials that you see around the room will be distributed at various points around town. Right here at the Visitor Center, downtown at the CVICC office, at the Bellefonte Intervalley Area Chamber of Commerce office, at the train station in Bellefonte, the Downtown State College Improvement District office, also downtown, and stop by the ballpark anytime. We'll have plenty over there. A few other special announcements for the 15th season this summer. In an effort to give back to the fans who have joined us for the last 14 seasons, we will be dialing back outfield bleacher seats to the inaugural season pricing. They're only going to be $6 all season long, and other specials will apply, so half-price nights and buck nights are still in play. We have also taken input from our fans, and we've adjusted our game times for the season. We did a survey, and it was overwhelming that we needed to shift the game time up by a half an hour. The games are going longer. I see so many kids on parents' shoulders falling asleep, missing the fireworks show. So at 6:35 p.m. Monday through Saturday this year, we're going to throw out the first pitch. That's 6:35 Monday through Saturday. We also took a hard look at what nights fans prefer to have fireworks. We're going to move them to Friday and Saturday nights. Makes a lot of sense. So join us for Friday and Saturday night fireworks shows. On Sundays, we've heard for years people want more day games. We're moving Sundays to day games. At 4:05 p.m., enjoy a matinee baseball show. So in closing, we'd like to thank everybody for attending the event today. We invite everybody here to share a video testimonial in the conference room behind me. Mr. John Foreman will take your 10 to 15 second testimonial. Share what the Spikes mean to you. Select press conference speakers will also be on hand for breakout sessions with media personnel. And we have one last thing we got to do. We got to officially kick off this campaign. I'd like to welcome up the Spikes fast pitch softball team. Ike the Spike. We have one more announcement to make. Play ball! Thank you.